And this is really special because it comes after Krishna Janmashtami and it comes after Srila Prabhupada Vyas Puja. And it is very special to read Bhāgavatam, Caitanya-caritāmṛta, Prabhupada books every day, but on these days it becomes even more special. So we will read Caitanya-caritāmṛta. Jaya Jaya Śrī Caitanya Jaya Nityānanda Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Jaya Śrī Caitanya Jaya Nityānanda Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Vande Guru Nisha Bhakta Nisha Nisha Avatarakan Tat Prakasham Tat Shakti Krishna Chaitanya Sangyakam Grantera Arambha Kori Mangala Charana Guru Vaishnava Bhagavan Tinira Smarana Tinira Smarana Hoya Begana Vinashana Anayasa Sapal Nija Vanchita Puranam Shri Rupa Raghunatha Padayara Asha Caitanya Caritāmṛta Kahe Krishna Dasa Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pacharini Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschata Deshatarini Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityaānanda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Rama Rama Hare Hare. Tat Sat. Thank you, Vipul Prabhu, Akshay Prabhu, for joining. We are reading today a very special section of Caitanya-caritāmṛta from Adi Lila chapter 5, entitled The Glories of Lord Nityaānanda Balarāma. We read in the last few verses that about the beauty of Lord Nityaānanda Balarāma, his beautiful eyes, hands, his walking style, his complexion, and so many beautiful details. What is he carrying? His flutes and horns, and with his Gopa friends, chanting Krishna, Krishna. And like that we discussed in a lot of detail. Today we will move forward and understand what did Lord Nityaānanda say to Krishna's Kaviraj Goswami in his dream. That's the main topic for today. Hare Krishna dasa na karo bhaya Vrindavana yaha tanha sarva labhya hoya. Oh, my dear Krishnadas, do not be afraid. Go to Vrindavan, for there you will attain all things. Hare Krishna. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Sorry, I missed that. Prabhupada ki jai. Oh, Krishnadas. So this is what Lord Nityaānanda is speaking to whom? Krishna's Kaviraj Goswami. Oh, Krishnadas, na karoh bhaya. Do not fear. Ma shuchaha. When the Supreme Lord says something, we should have no fear in his words, in his instruction, in the faith. A devotee has faith in the words of Guru, Sadhu, and Shastra. And of course, Krishna. It includes that the scriptures don't lie. Spiritual master, a genuine spiritual master does not lie. Scriptures don't lie. Lord and his entourage does not lie. So we should have firm faith. And by doing so, sarva labhya, everything what is necessary, everything which is good, will automatically come in one's life. Sarva labhya. We will attain everything what is required to be attained. And that the real thing is Krishna Prema, love of Godhead. That's the most required thing to attain in his life, in this lifetime as a human form, in the human being. The most rightful thing to attain is Krishna Prema. And how will we attain? By following the words of Guru and Krishna. Yes, Prabhu, you want to read 196?
Shri Prabhuji. Additional devotees, Dhanva Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Text 196. এত বলি পেরিলা মোরে হাতছানি দিয়া অন্তদান কইল প্রভু নিজগণ লয়া. Translation is Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. After saying this, he directed me toward Vrindavan by waving his hand, and then he disappeared with his associates. So, Nityaanda Prabhu telling to Krishna Goswami to go to Vrindavan, and after that Prabhu deserved from with his associates from his dream. Back to Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Prabhu. So you see, this dream was quite short. The instruction was quite short. Of course, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami was relishing the beauty and the bodily features of Lord Nityaānanda, but the instruction was short in this. Like he said, okay, go to Vrindavan. He pointed out, the word used is hat hata shani, indication by hand. Basically pointing the way. Okay, you go to Vrindavan. You go to Vrindavan. That's it. Srila Prabhupada was often told by his Guru Maharaj, now you go to and take sannyas. So great souls, the Lord may come in their dream, or the Guru may come in their dream, or some other Vaishnavas may come in their dream to give them some relevant instructions. And it has happened in the lives of many, many devotees. Of course, if we are not at that level, we should always check, because we may not know, like, oh, God told me in my dream to go to bar and drink liquor or something like that. Especially if it's not aligned with our Vaishnava Shastra. So we can't just, of course, this is a very spiritual dream. Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami is not an ordinary soul. Lord Nityaānanda is personally coming. And so this is like the ideal combination. But sometimes, people say, oh, Lord came in my dream and told this. Oh, Lord came in my dream and told this. Whether it was really Lord or some other our own mental speculation, concoction, it's always good to check in the stage of a conditioned soul like myself with our spiritual superiors, teachers, etc., so that we don't end up making wrong decisions in life. Oh, Lord told me in my dream to just leave everything and leave my family and leave my job and just go to Haridwar and just retire. Okay, maybe it's time to check, So okay, let's read the next verse. So Antardhyan, so he basically disappeared. Let's see, 197. Yes, Lakshay, Prabhu, and to read.
Iya muni padinu bhumite swapna banga haila deki hanache prabhate. Translation: I fainted and fell to the ground. My dream broke, and when I regained consciousness, I saw that morning had come. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Lakshay Prabhu. You're very sincere, joining regularly in these classes. And I think this will also help you to, understand more about the Sanskrit language, the Bengali language. Many words are similar, like swapna, bhanga. Swapna bhanga means the dream was broken. Swapna means dream. The swapna avastha, swapna also is used in Sanskrit many times. Murchita, unconscious, fainted. So he here basically, I here refers to Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami. Since it was like such a spiritually enlivening and charging dream, he fell on the ground and fainted unconscious. And when he realized, when he got back to his consciousness, when his dream broke, then it was already prabhata. Prabhata means the morning light. So the sun had risen, basically. there was daylight, like sun rays were visible. So let's see what happened further. Yes, Sudhir Prabhu, want to read, please?
Sure, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna devotees, and pranam of Sri Prabhupada. Ki dekhino ki sunino kariye vichara Prabhu agna haila vrindavana hebara. Translation by Divine Grace C.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Śrī Prabhupada ki jai. I thought about what I had seen and heard and concluded that the Lord had ordered me to proceed to Vrindavan at once. Hare Krishna Prabhuji, please explain.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu. Looks like you're speaking from Brahma Loka. Now you're back to earth. Thank you for reading. Ki dekhinu, ki shuninu, kariya vichara. Such a beautiful line we can meditate upon. What did I see? What did I hear? Doing, considering that, contemplating that is very, very important. You know, often we may hear a class or we may see something, but we may not do vichar on that. But here Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami is basically contemplating. Vichar kar rahe hain us pe. Vichar means analyzing, understanding. What did I just saw? What did I just see? What did I just hear? What is the Lord trying to convey to me? What was the essence? Like when we hear something, a class, when we read something, Prabhupada's books, when we meet spiritual superiors, we should always have this mood. What is the message being conveyed to me in this whole thing? An sincere person always does vichar. Human life means to contemplate, right? Animals don't contemplate much, right? They have like what is called sheep mentality, right? Sheep mentality. So if one sheep is going, or goat mentality, if one goat is going in one direction, they all go in the same direction, right? Herd mentality also comes from there, or following the herd. But human life is not meant to have that mentality. Human life is meant to do vichar. Vichara koriyamane, bhakti rasa swadane, madhyastha Śrī Bhāgavata-sevayā. In a lot of bhajans, this word comes, vichar koriya. So we have to do analysis. We have to contemplate. We have to consider in any aspect of life, whether in bhakti, what is good for me? Is this good for me? Is this going to help in my spiritual life? In material life also, we should do vichar. Am I doing? Is that right? Is it going to help me in my spiritual life? And in multiple other things. So he did thorough analysis. He was not just like a kind of like immediately rush. Okay, just I got that dream and rush to the. He used his mindful intelligence, did some analysis, and what he concluded. He concluded, Prabhu Agya Haila Vrindavana Yaibara. He is asking me, the Lord wants me, the Lord's Agya, Prabhu Agya, Nityaṁ Prabhu's Agya is that I must proceed to Vrindavan. After thorough vichar, he concluded that he must go. Okay, let's see what happens further. Did he go? Did he not go? Sheshane Vrindavane Korinu Gamana Prabhura Kripata Sukhe Ainu Vrindavana. That very second I started for Vrindavan, and by his mercy I reached there in great happiness. Hare Krishna. Wow, such beautiful. When we know what is to be done, why delay? That very second, that shana, say shani, that very moment, when he did the analysis, when he did the, he was sure what Lord wants him to do. He did thorough. What was that verse? He contemplated what I heard, what I saw, and that second he started the executing the order, because that's very important. So let's maybe meditate upon, certain aspects of reading or hearing. So we may receive the instructions from multiple ways, primarily reading, hearing, right? These are the two, are also called as Shravanam. Shravanam includes reading, Shravanam. It could be Bhagavatam class, Bhagavad Gita class, Śrī Caitanya-caritāmṛta, reading, Prabhupada's books, Prabhupada's classes, senior Vaishnavas, Gurudev, Prabhupada's, all the ISKCON, like senior Guru Varga, basically. Books, classes, tapes, morning walks, etc., etc. But just that is not enough, right? That is like the first layer. The next part is understanding, right? Understanding the details, understanding what is being communicated here, right? And that basically happens through contemplation, or we can say the word vichar in Bengali rightly fits here. To do analysis, to do, okay, that maybe the class, what was in it for me? What all things specifically apply to me? Sometimes the class could be, for new people, but we may still get something out of it, because sometimes the class could be, let's say, for different setting, but still there is always something in it for us. So contemplation, it can be even moved to like point number 2. So contemplation will lead to understanding, and very, very important is basically we understand, we first acquire knowledge, right? We acquire the knowledge, we understand how to apply it. But until we do the most important step is application or execution of those instructions. Otherwise, it's just bookish knowledge, right? We may be expert in cutting, let's say, let's apply this 4 steps in making like a preparation in kitchen, a dish. So first step is we will either, read or hear from a cookbook or from an expert cook, right? Then maybe we understand, okay, I need to go to the market, get the ingredients or something. And then maybe, you understand, okay, I don't have, maybe I don't have the normal salt, so I can use the black salt, some things like that. Or I don't have this pepper, I can use that black pepper instead. So sometimes the details have to vary based on time, place, situation. The class is for generals, public, but we have to understand the specifics. But most important is to actually begin the process of cooking. We may have the right training, we may have the right understanding, we may have the right ingredients, but until we begin the process, the application, then nothing will happen without it. So that very moment, important to note here, that moment, shana means is love matra. Love also is shana. Shana means like that second, that very second. That shana also used many, many times. So what did he do? The Lord asked him, go to Vrindavan. That was his agya. At very moment, Karinu Gaman, he started. Gaman means to go. He started towards Vrindavan. I mean, at that time, 500 years back, no train, bus, flight, etc. Basically, he started walking. To understand that, like going to Vrindavan, and at this point, I believe, I'm not 100% sure, but I'm quite sure it's in like the Bengal area. He's not in Vrindavan. He's not even close, not even like near in Delhi or nowhere. He's basically at least 500 plus miles away, right? At least 500 miles away. Now walking. And look at the mood of Prabhura Kripate Ainu Vrindavan. Sukhe Ainu Vrindavan. Wow. You can meditate upon that. By the mercy of Krishna, everything will happen very sukhapurvak. With great happiness here I Vrindavan. That's important to note. Now it may seem to us very ordinary, but you have to go 500 years back, then only we can understand. Now, these days we may book a ticket and we may go to Delhi, Vrindavan. It may not seem like a big task. It is relatively, it's a big thing, like to plan, go, book tickets. It takes a lot of effort, but still it's not a very big task, right? You plan, book the flight. So it's not like, okay, and we take it for granted. Okay, I booked the tickets. I'm going here. Okay, I'm going to, let's say, whatever. I booked my ticket to Chicago next week. I'm going. What the big deal? I will reach there, right? So it's not a big deal. But at that time, they had to cross through so many forests, so many different rulers, different regions, wild animals, wild creatures, and it's not even mentioned that did he carry some entourage. The safety was a big challenge, and so it was much more difficult, and it must have taken months, not days, not weeks, not hours, right? But look at this greatness. He just mentioned, I reached Sukhapurvak, right? I happily reached Vrindavan by the mercy of Guru and Krishna. This is a mood of devotee. A seemingly very, very big task, he spoke so lightly, is it not? Happily, I reached Vrindavan by the mercy of Prabhura Kripa, by the mercy of Lord Nityaānanda. So this is the mercy, by the mercy of Guru and Krishna, seemingly big tasks, seemingly difficult tasks become very easy. And without the mercy of Guru and Krishna, seemingly very simple tasks also become very difficult. Kathanchana smrite yasmin dushkaram sukaram bhavet vismrite viparitam syat Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu. Whenever we remember Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityaānanda, dushkaram becomes sukaram, difficult becomes very easy. Vismaran, forgetfulness, leads to viparita. Viparit means opposite. Exactly opposite happens when we forget Lord Chaitanya and Nityaānanda. That means easy things become very, very difficult, very, very hard. So he happily reached Vrindavan. Let's see what happens. Yes, Prabhu, and to read.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Kṛṣṇa devotees, Dhanvar Pranam, all goes to Śrīla Prabhupada. Text 200. Jaya Jaya Nityananda Nityananda Ram Jahar Kripa Te Painu Vrindavan Dham. Translation by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhakti-Vedanta Swami Śrīla Prabhupada ki Jai. All glory to Lord Nityaānanda Balarāma, by whose mercy I have attained shelter in the transcendental abode of Vrindavan. So, under the direction of the Nityaānanda Prabhu, at that moment, Krishna's Kaviraj Goswami left and came to the Vrindavan. So he is very much grateful to the Nityaānanda Prabhu. Probably it might be get delayed, but under his direction, he directly got the Vrindavan Dham by following his orders. Back to Prabhu.
Krishna, thank you so much, Prabhu. How do we say this word? Yanhara or Yahara?
So when we Jahar, there is a look on the top of, there is a small, we call Chandra Bindu.
Chandra Bindu, yeah.
So
Hindi also.
Little bit na, Jahar.
Yahar. So na is silent, right?
Silent.
Yes, nice. Yahara Kripa Paite Vrindavan Dham. Right?
Yeah, 100% right.
So maybe this is a very beautiful verse. So let's try to memorize it. Because by the mercy of Lord Nityananda, only we can take shelter of Vrindavan Dham. Is it not? Because we all want to, what is our aspiration? To get to Vrindavan, to go to Golok Vrindavan. Nija nikata nivasa dehi govardhanatvam Murai Abhilash Vilas Kunje Diyova. So many bhajans. We are always aspiring as Gaudiya Vaishnavas to always reside in Vrindavan Dham. But how will that happen? Jaya Jaya Nityananda Nityananda Ram Yahara Kripainap Yahara Kripate Painu Vrindavana Dham. Very easy to remember, right? Jaya Jaya Nityananda. All glories to Nityananda Ram. Nityananda Ram. Yahara. By whose kripa? Painu. By receiving, or when we receive, pate hain. Pana. Pana means to receive. So Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami received Nityananda's mercy, then only he could get Vrindavan Dham. Until we get Nityananda's mercy, we cannot get Krishna, we cannot get Vrindavan Dham. So maybe I request a few devotees to first recite by seeing and reciting, and the objective is in a few minutes to memorize, since it's not very hard verse. Yes, want to recite? Maybe everyone can recite. There are only 4 devotees, so everyone can recite this verse. Yes, Sudhir Prabhu, Akshay Prabhu, and Rishi Tipti Mataji, thank you for your association. We are blessed to have you. You're on mute. If you want to speak or recite this verse, you can unmute, Mata. You want to try this verse? Maybe Sudhir Prabhu, you can go first, Akshay, and then Mataji can try.
Hare Kṛṣṇa Prabhuji. Jaya Jaya Nityananda Nityananda Ram Jahara Kripate Painu Vrindavan. Yahara, right? Okay. Yahara Kripate Painu Vrindavana Dham.
जय जय नित्यानंद नित्यानंद राम यहाँ कृपा ते पाऊ वृंदावन धाम.
Akshay Prabhu.
Jaya Jaya Nityananda Nityananda Ram Yanhara Kripate Painu Vrindavana Dham.
Akshay, we will not emphasize on na here, okay? We are not emphasizing. It's silent. Yahara Kripate Painu Vrindavan Dham. So in Bengali, if you see that this is called Chandrabindu. Ya, this is ya. The first word is ya. Chandrabindu. That the na will be silent here. The N. So now let's see if anyone can try without seeing it.
Jaya Jaya Nityananda Nityananda Ram Jahar Kripate Painu Vrindavan Dham.
Yes, Akshay Prabhu.
Jaya Jaya Nityananda Nityananda Rama Yahara Kripate Painu Vrindavana Dhama.
Very well. Veer Prabhu, want to try?
Prabhuji, one question. Is it Yahara or Jahara?
Yahara.
Yahara, okay. Thank you. Jaya Jaya Nityananda Nityananda Ram Yahara Kripate Painu Vrindavana Dham.
Mataji wants to try. Want to try? You're on mute again.
जय जय नित्यानंद जय नित्याराम यहाँ ने कृपानु पाइने वृंदावन धाम.
Very nice. Jaya Jaya Nityananda Nityananda Ram Yahara Kripate Painu Vrindavan Dham. So whenever we are thinking of Vrindavan, going to Vrindavan, planning to go to Vrindavan, or trying to stay in Vrindavan, trying to make our home Vrindavan, we can always remember this verse. Trying to glorify Nityananda Prabhu. Such a beautiful verse, easy to remember. Jai Jai Nityananda, Nityananda Ram. The ocean of bliss, the ocean of happiness is Nityananda, Nityananda, always in happiness. Ram, the ocean of, actually the second here is Ram is used to Lord Balarāma. That's very nice, actually. All glories to Lord Nityananda, Nityananda Balarāma. So we can use this verse to even glorify Balarāma or to Nityananda Ram. They both are basically one and the same personality. So it's only by the mercy of Balarāma, it's only by the mercy of Nityananda that we can get shelter of Vrindavan Dham. Yahara Kripaite Painu Vrindavan Dham. So beautiful. Easy to remember, right? So you can remember and share with others also. That will help us to remember further. Text 200, chapter 5, Adi Lila. Next verse. Yes, Sudhir Prabhu, you want to read?
Sure, Prabhu. Hare Kṛṣṇa devotees, Pranam, August Śrī Prabhu. Jaya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Kripa Maya. Yeah, Yanha. Okay, sorry. And this is Chandrabhai Bhagavat. Okay. Yaha Haite Paino Rupa Sanatana Sarya
Shreya, Sanatana Ashraya.
Sanatana Ashraya. Translation by His Divine Grace Bhaktivedanta Swami Śrīla Prabhupada ki jai. All glory to the merciful Lord Nityananda, by whose mercy I have attained shelter at the lotus feet of Sri Rupa and Sri Sanatana. Please.
Quite similar verse, right? The first line is pretty much as it is. Jai Jai Nityananda. Jai Kripamoy, Kripamoy, most merciful. Kripa means mercy, magnanimous, most merciful personality, Lord Nityananda. Ananta, apara, right? We use these words. Yaha, same. Paine, Painu, Haite. So very, very similar here also. Yahara Kripate Painu. So we attain Vrindavan Dham by the mercy of Lord Nityananda. We attain, our goal is to take shelter of Srila Rupa and Sanatana, Rupa Nugas. These are the prominent amongst the 6 Goswamis. So how can we get the ashraya of Rupa and Sanatana? By the mercy of Lord Nityananda. Very, very simple. So, by whose mercy I have attained the shelter. And actually, we see who is the spiritual master of Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami. Anyone knows? Who is Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami's guru? He's speaking here the
Narottam Das Thakur, Prabhuji.
this Thakur is in the disciple line. If you see the Parampara, Lord Chaitanya is in the Bhagavad Gita also. Lord Chaitanya, then Rupa Goswami, of course, others also, so Rupa Sanatana. Then Raghunatha and Jiva were there. And the number 25 comes Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami. There is mention about, I'm not able to exactly recall, his Shiksha Guru and Diksha Gurus. But of course, he was quite elderly. We read that in the beginning. It's in the Caitanya-caritāmṛta. I'm not able to properly recall. But of course, at that time, one of my aspiration was to make a timeline and of all these Goswamis, like from which period to which period they were present, and who were like parallelly present, and like when they appeared and when they disappeared. So it's one of my desires to just compile that. Who am I to make it? But just compile. This will be nice reference, I feel. But again, I'm not 100% sure whether he met Rupa and Sanatana. Those parameters, I don't know, so I won't not comment on that. But ultimately, directly, indirectly, he got shelter of Sri Rupa and Raghunath. And basically, at every verse, every chapter, end of the every chapter, at the end of every chapter, he's speaking a very nice verse. Anyone knows that? Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami speaks a very nice verse, remembering Sri Rupa Goswami, which we said in the beginning of the class also.
Yes, Śrī Rupa Raghunath Pade Jarash.
Yes, very good. It's the
What
next
is
line.
Raghunath
Caitanya
Das Goswami.
Charitamrita Kahe Krishna Dasa. Let me. Yes, it's in the end of every chapter. Every chapter ends with this verse in Caitanya Charitamrita, pretty much. Śrī Rupa Raghunatha Pade Yara Asha Caitanya Charitamrita Kahe Krishna Dasa. So, following in the footsteps of Rupa and Raghunath Goswami, praying at their lotus feet, Rupa and Raghunath, basically the Shad Goswamis, desiring their mercy, I narrate, I Krishnadas, the humble servant of Rupa and Raghunath, narrate this Caitanya Charitamrita. And in the Guru Parampara also, his name is mentioned, right? If you see anywhere, you have the list of the series of Guru Parampara at the end of the introduction of Bhagavad Gita. So, Rupa Goswami, Sanatana Goswami, and then Raghunath and Jiva, and then is the mention of Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami. And then Narottam Das Thakur, Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur, Baldev Vidyabhushan, Bhaktinath Thakur, Gaur Kishore Swabaji, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, and Srila Prabhupada. You see Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. So I think we should try to remember all this till Madhavendra Puri at least. Right? Let's reflect upon it one more time, right? So that we can put it a little bit deeper in our heads and consciousness. I'll clear this. Okay, so we will go in descending order, right? So AC, Bhakti, Vedanta, Swami.
So, just interrupting, yeah, I found that Krishna Kaviraj Goswami, born around the beginning of the 16th century, was a disciple of Raghunath Das Goswami.
The disciple of Raghunath Das Goswami. Very nice. Now
Even in the Parampara also it states, right?
I mean, Raghunatha and Jiva are mentioned together, so it's and it's not so clear whether Diksha Guru or Shiksha Guru, so they may be different also. But nonetheless, Guru is Guru, does not make a difference. So thank you. And at the same time, you know, like, I mean, we are also in one way, Rupa and Sanatana Goswami are our Shiksha Guru also. So they're all Guru Varga. So thank you, Prabhu. So we're a disciple of Raghunath Das Goswami. Okay, so who knows next? In the Parampara?
Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati.
Yes, Bhakti. Siddhanta. Laksha, you know this whole Parampara? Saraswati Thakur. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. Who was his guru?
Gaurdas,
Gaur Kishore Das Babaji.
Gaur Kishore Das Babaji.
Okay, very nice. Who was his guru?
Bhakti Vinod Thakur.
Bhakti Vinod Thakur. Very nice. who was Bhakti Vinod Thakur's guru?
Jagannath Das. Jagannath Das Babaji.
Just trying to reduce the font so I can be able to fit. Jagannath Das Babaji. Sorry, I'm writing a little smaller. Not this does not make their stature smaller just to fit everyone. Okay. Okay, Jagannath Das Babaji's guru, who knows? At least in the Parampara. And there is also mention of here of Baldev Vidya Bhushan. So we should know that these are mentioned together. And then came.
So Prabhupada dedicated his Gita to Baladev Vidyabhushan Thakur.
Yes, he has written a lot of commentary on Bhagavad Gita and other scriptures. So Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur was next. Thakur. Baldev Vidya Bhushan, Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur, then Narottam Das. Narottama Das Thakur. Then comes our Krishna Das Kaviraj Goswami. This is as per the Parampara. I'm not telling that they were Shiksha Guru or Diksha Guru. That does not. More important is to know this Parampara. Then Raghunatha and Jiva. Raghunath Das Goswami and Jiva Goswami. Then Rupa and Sanatana Goswamis. Then Śrī Lord Caitanya Mahāprabhu, right? Then
Ishwarapuri.
Ishwarapuri. Then Madhavendra.
Madhavendra.
Okay, so at least these names we should know, and whenever we get chance to read here, we should try to know more about these personalities, their works, their life, their lifestyle, their bhakti, whenever and we observe all these appearance, disappearance days of these great personalities. So it's good to, sometimes pause and reflect. Just to pause and wind up, anyone wants to share the verse which we learned today, text 200, without seeing? Want to try?
Jaya Jaya Nityananda Nityananda Ram Jahar Kripate Painu Vrindavana Dham.
Thank you, Prabhu. Very nice. Yes, Mataji, you want to try? Akshay Prabhu, want to try?
Jaya Jaya Nityananda Nityananda Rama
Jahara
Jahare Kitaya Painu Vrindavana Dama.
Very well. Thank you. So we will pause here. It's almost 9 o'clock. So thank you for your wonderful association. श्री चैतन्य चरितामृत की जय, श्री कृष्णदास कविराज गोस्वामी की जय, श्री
की
नित्यानंद
जय।
प्रभु की जय, गुरु परंपरा की जय, श्री प्रभुपाद की जय,
श्री
समवेत गौर भक्तवृंद की जय,
भक्तवृंद
वंशा कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिंधुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमः।
बहन।
थैंक यू। हरे कृष्णा। जय श्री प्रभुपाद।
हरे कृष्णा प्रभु जी कल एकादशी है यहाँ पे, कल एकादशी एकादशी
एकादशी तो माता आज है। आप कहाँ पर है, कौन से शहर में?
मैं क्लीवलैंड में हूँ प्रभु जी।
क्लीवलैंड में है।
जी प्रभु जी।